Welcome to the Kings of Houston, a brand new show dedicated to all things Royal, talking about the highs, the lows, the thrills and the spills as the action unfolds during our Royals USL 2 and Women's WPSL seasons. And me to discuss all of this is the resident King of Houston himself, Steve Firth. How are you doing, Steve?
Sam, how are you? I'm good, thank you. I'm out here at not sunny Campbell Road Sports Park at the moment. This morning, it's rather grim and very English, to be honest with you.
I was going to say, well, over in England, we're basking in the 15 Celsius sunshine, so about 60 degrees your weather.
Oh, that's midsummer for you guys, huh?
It is. Well, it looks like in Houston, it's the storm before the calm. We've got a lot to talk about, and this is the first episode, and I'm pretty excited, to be honest with you. But we're going to show everyone who rules the kingdom, unlike that small club down the road that is Houston FC.
Absolutely. So yeah, lots to talk about. Big week. We're hoping we can. This is Tuesday morning for me here, so we're hoping we can get the game in on Wednesday, the first men's game. We'll see how that weather looks. It's not looking great with the storms, but we'll see how that looks. The USL 2 has started. A lot of the teams have already played in the league, so that's good. We've got a little look at that, and big week for the Royals. 2 games this week, so we'll get moving on it.
Yep, so we're going to start on a positive note. Our USL 2 side had a warm-up game at the weekend where they beat the Houston Dynamo Academy by 3-2. What did you make of the performance?
It's always interesting at the start of the year because when you're a USL 2 group, as probably many of the groups that are starting to play, Sam, you really we're training for the first time as a group, and you're bringing all these guys together. So some are returners, some of them play for our youth club and have come in, and then you've got a lot of new guys to mix into the mold. So on top of that, maybe a little bit of a change in style for the Royals this year, maybe a little bit of a different sort of pressing game. Maybe a different style of playing, with the ball. So to start with, you come up against a Houston Dynamo, MLS Academy side who are very organized. Yes, young, they've got some 16, 17, 18-year-olds in there, but very organized, train together 4 or 5 times a week, have played together a lot. And they kind of ruled it for the first 15 minutes. And the Royals were really kind of working on their shape and organization and struggled to get into that. Once they did, in the last 15 minutes of the first half, they did really well. And then I think we missed a penalty in the first half. And then in the second half, for the first 15, 20 minutes, we kind of took over, scored 3 quick goals, took control of the game. They looked really good in that last 15 minutes of the first half, first 15, 20 minutes of the second half. And then we made a lot of changes to a lot of our second string at the moment players that came in. But so did the Dynamo, to be fair to them. I think they brought some younger players in. And we also changed formations. And we went from a 4 at the back to 3 at the back. Had some players playing back there that weren't the regular players that knew how to play there. We conceded a couple of goals late on to a good group who had some really talented young players. So the Royals ended up winning 3-2. Which is always a positive to get some goals and some positivity at the start of the season in a preseason game. But it was definitely an eye-opener to some of the things that Coach, Josh and Coach Matt need to work on going into the first game of the season.
Yeah, and like I say, the first game of the regular season is meant to kick off tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. back home at Campbell Road Sports Park, weather pending. Hopefully we can expect to get a convincing win should we be able to play, especially after Round Rock opened their regular season with a 3-0 defeat to Mississippi Brilla.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's imperative that, you get off to a good start to the season. It's important that you win your home games. It's very difficult, I know, for Round Rock coming in. We've done it when you're a new team into the league, Sam. You're trying to find your feet of what that level is. You're also, again, I'm sure for Round Rock, they've only just got their players in, so they won't have had many training sessions. First game is a long travel trip to Mississippi Brilla, which is not an easy place to go. Brilla have been in the league and have won the league in the past, and so they've got a lot of experience of what they're doing, a lot of returning players, so they were very well organised. Managed to watch a little bit of the game. So I think Round Rock, as the season goes on, and as they probably get more and more players back, they'll become more organised in their shape and what they're doing and their tactics. But very early on in the season for them. So hopefully, if we can get this game in tomorrow, a good start from the Royals, a lot of support for the Royals coming in, creating an interesting atmosphere. And, we are used to playing on this surface here and at home. And, an expected win for the first game for the Royals for sure.
Yeah, it would be good to get off to a good start to the season on the front foot at home. And
Yeah.
you've touched on it. We're going to be expecting a decent amount of supporters should the game be played. Can you give us a little tour of the sports park from your view where you are now?
I'm currently on our gantry, our press box gantry. I'll just flip you around here. Oh, here's a sports park right now. So, like I say, it's a pretty wet and windy day out here. So, here's our turf field that we put in a year ago or so, or 2 years ago, ready for this sort of moment. So, we're out here. Yeah, I think that we've got quite a lot of a crowd expected for the first game. We've got a lot of our players that play with our youth group and our families expecting to come out. Obviously, weather pending, and a lot of local support. So hopefully, the first couple of games, some big support, everybody dressed out in blue, getting out to support the Royals, creating an atmosphere. We want an atmosphere. We want some songs going on. We've also got concession stands out here that we'll be selling beer for our adults as well and some alcohol. So that'll be always a good sign to bring some extra people out. We're excited to be out here for the first time playing in our own environment rather than, renting somewhere else. So, it's good to be home.
Yeah. Having a beer and watching the soccer, you can't really go wrong with that. And can we expect you to be being rowdy with the supporters as well, starting off some chants?
I'd love to be. I think that would be my favorite place to be. But as a job that I do, I'll be pretty busy on game days with the technical side of things and just getting game day ops set up. But if there's a moment I can get away from being in here in the press box and things like that, maybe I'll run around that side and set a few smoke bombs off and flares and get them singing some songs.
So keeping it professional, Steve. And
absolutely,
we also have another
absolutely.
game. Oh, sorry, we have another game coming up this weekend as well. If you'd like to tell us a little bit about that, so we've got a double header basically.
Yeah, so obviously we play tomorrow night, Wednesday night, against Round Rock, and then it's a double rock. It's Little Rock on Saturday night at 7:00 here at the Sports Park again. Another new team into this league, not a new team though. Little Rock have stepped up into this league from a lower level. Watched them play their first home game. Looks like they've got a great supporters group. Playing a wonderful stadium. What looks like, so that's a great addition to this league. And they played some really good stuff. They actually lost 2-1 to Houston FC the first game. Houston FC scoring in the first minute and the last minute. But Little Rock, played some pretty expansive soccer, moved the ball around well, really tried to connect some passes, weren't afraid to play out of the back, weren't afraid to go long at times. So, they've got, I think that obviously they've been together for a few years in a different league. So they've got some sort of, foundation for how they want to play. So that could be a little bit more of a tricky game because they're gonna want to be in possession of the ball. So I can see, having watched that game, I know the coaches and the players over here have watched that game. So that was a good eye opener for them. So, that should be a really good game on Saturday night. A game that the Royals will want to win. A game that tactically, hopefully, we can put something together to win that game. But yeah, I mean, even though Little Rock lost the game, they were impressive at times.
Yeah, and talking about a little bit about the Mid-South Conference, I see our rivals down the road, Houston FC, managed to get a cheeky 3-2 victory. Did you catch any of the action?
It was a 2-1. It was a 2-1.
2-1. Said 3-2 on the USL2 site.
I think it was 2-1 away at Little Rock. So,
they got the victory.
They did get the victory. They snuck a very early goal from a goalkeeping mistake from Little Rock, and then scored a bit of a absolute screamer from about 35 yards out in the last minute to win it. Houston FC are always an interesting group, very young. They're still waiting for a few of their players to come back, but the coach over there, Coach Bruce, is not afraid to put some of his youth players in that group. So they'll be young, they'll be feisty, they'll get after it. It's really important this year that we need to show that we're the best team in Houston. And we want to prove that. So that's a big rivalry for us to make sure that happens. So yeah, bring those two games on. We can't wait for them. We're excited to have them. It's one of those. It'll be a fun, exciting rivalry, but respectful at the same time. But we want to make that a part of the show, and hopefully when we go away to Houston FC as well, we can take a little bit of a crowd with us and make it a home game for us. That'll be part of the fun. But yeah, they're a young group. They did a good job. They play together a lot in some different leagues as well. A lot of those players, so they played together for a while. So they know what they're doing. They're a difficult outfit to play against. So But hopefully a little bit of a little bit of understanding of how they play, we can work around that and pick up on some of their weaknesses. And when we get to play them, that needs to be a 6-pointer for us.
Yeah, of course. And like I say, when I looked at when the schedules came out, it was obviously the first home game and then Houston FC. Those are the fixtures for me that certainly jumped out. And we'll just move on from the USL2 team and we'll give our ladies a little bit of love here. They are going to be starting their pre-season. They're going to be starting their pre-season program and practices soon, with a lot of the girls coming back from the NCAA tournament. It's going to be very exciting to see how they get on this season, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that we've had the weather this week. I think they would have started some sessions this week and got some practices in. They don't start until Memorial Weekend, so they've got a couple of weeks before they play. So they'll be on Memorial Weekend. I think it's a Saturday night that they play against Lone Star at home. So that'll be an exciting one to get out and watch the women play. Yeah, a lot of those women are coming back from an expansive season with the NCAA and playing in the tournament. We have got some injuries coming back from that right now, so we're looking through that. But hopefully we get them back in this week or next week at the latest and get them up and running. But that's an exciting group. I mean, the amount of talent that's in that pool and depth that's in that pool, that's a really good group of players. The way that Coach Ben and Coach Danny are going to want to play is exciting soccer to watch. And a lot of those players are ex-Albion players and ex-players from around the Houston area. So it's great for younger women and the younger females to come out and watch, and and something for them to look forward to and go, this could be a pathway in the future, for me as well. And just to show the talent pool that we've got in the Houston area on the women's side, it's exciting for sure. Yeah,
like when I spoke to some of the girls before, it's hard not to be inspired by them and their stories, especially a couple of them starting out very young and being part of the most successful Royals teams in the history. So make sure we support our ladies as well. And lastly, Absolutely. Steve, for all those watching the show who've been swayed into becoming a Royal and joining our family, can you give us any information on how they can get hold of matchday tickets or season tickets?
Yeah, I mean, we keep posting on our social media. So if you look on there, you'll see all the information regarding the season tickets. If you go onto the Royals website, AHFC Royals, you'll see on there under tickets, you'll be able to pick up game day tickets. You can also pick up season tickets. So I think the game day tickets are free for anybody 18 and under. Just come on in. If you're an adult, it's $10 a ticket. Match days, that's $10. If it's your season ticket holder, I think it's $50 for the men and $40 for the women. So it's not too expensive. I think it's good in this kind of post-ish Corona era for everybody to get back out and enjoy themselves. We had a great little fundraiser this last weekend where we had 300 or 400 people out at the facility, and it was just great for people to get out and enjoy themselves again. It's outside, so it's socially distancing. Again, like I say, we're selling some alcohol out here, so people can come and enjoy themselves. I mean, it'd be great to get everybody out, go and buy your tickets, come out to a couple of game days, see how you like it. And, hopefully we can make you guys, Royals fans for the season, and it can be part of your summer and your summer calendar.
Exactly. And we're also going to have many theme nights throughout the season, Steve. And can you give us a hint about any of the theme nights that are coming up?
Yeah, we've got a couple. We're going to blue it out for the first men's and women's game. We've got a whiteout as well. We've got food truck night. We've got a 70s night. We've got a red, white and blue military appreciation night. And I also think that on rivalry night, I believe we've got the one of our lead sponsors, the London Sizzler, coming out to do a curry night. So, exciting times. You may find me over by the curry and the beer on that night for sure.
That sounds good, Steve. Sounds good. So don't forget to get involved with our royal family by following us on all the social medias so you don't miss any of the action this season.